Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So I'm actually just filming the intro for the footage that you're gonna see in the next clip. I filmed the footage you're about to see last year in June. Was it June or July? I think it was June. It's basically a diary entry of things that I was going through at that time. I was actually medically unwell, that's how I'll put it. I'll explain more in the video about what I was going through. I'd just come out of hospital maybe like 2 months before, so I'm filming the intro a year later than when I was in A&E. So today is May the 7th, so this time last year I was actually in an A&E bed. I think I was actually having did I have the MRI tomorrow? I think this time last year I was scheduled to have an MRI. So God has really brought me far. When I reflect, I'm like, it's been a year already. Like, it's insane. But it's interesting to see where my mind was back then and where I am now. Like, did I see it a year later? I won't waffle on. This is basically the intro for that. I hope you guys enjoy. At the end, I think that my camera died, so I think the last clip is on my iPhone, so I might have to like jazz it up. But yeah, I think the last clip was on my iPhone. But I hope you enjoy. Please share if you think it's going to be a source of inspiration for somebody. I might even upload a separate testimony video, like explaining everything that happened and whatnot and the things I went through. But yeah, let me know if you guys will be interested to see that. But without further ado, I'll just intro the clip. Hey guys, welcome back to my put my leg up channel. I hope you're all having like a good day. Currently right now in the UK, yeah, or London specific, it's really hot. Today is the 27th of August. It's Tuesday. Yesterday was bank holiday Monday. Like carnival days, if you know then you know, innit. I didn't go because personal space and that, but that's how we kind of mark the holidays here. It was the last bank holiday Monday of the year, and like recently we just had a heat wave. Like this weekend has been toasting. Like it's been really hot. So I have my fan here. I might oscillate it actually, just so like the air is moving around a little bit. But yeah, if you can hear in the background, that's what it is. So in today's video, I thought I would just come on here and just talk to you a little bit about what's basically been going on in my life, the current season I'm in, and how I'm basically trying to manage and cope in it, because it's a thing of mine, you know, when like people are going through stuff, yeah, and they make the video after they've like already come through, and they don't like have receipts all the time to document like triumphs that they've made and things that they've gone through, like things that they've managed to overcome. So I'm just here to basically be a source of encouragement and to let you guys know that basically you're not alone, and hopefully pieces of my story that you can find relatable, and just know that everyone goes through stuff and it's easier when people are going through with you. So I thought I'd just come in and talk. I needed to take out my hair anyway. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I was horizontal because it was just too hot to be moving around. I was actually supposed to meet up with a friend today, but we had to cancel plans because things came up. So I thought, let me just take out my hair. I've had these braids in now. Look at the raggedy ends from. I've had these braids in now for 8 weeks. I started putting them in on the 23rd of June, I believe. My sister helped me finish it on the 24th. I've washed it once since I know people say installed them. It's not like software, but since I put my hair into this protective style. And why's my nose snagging? But yeah, like you can see, I'll just focus it. Like, don't watch the dirt in it, but like the growth is a bit mad. Like for me, that's a lot of growth. You can see the like, I have to put my hand behind it, like the knob is there. So how I usually take out my braids, I needed a few things you need. Well, not I say you need because it's not even a tutorial, but basically what I do, yeah, is I take some what are these things called? Bulldog clips. I say it so fast that it sounds like bulldoze clips, but these scissors to save time, because you can just cut them to the length of your hair. Mine's just like down here, but you cut it to the length of your hair to save you from having to sorry, I keep looking in the viewfinder to make sure that you can see me. Wow, brain fart. What was I saying? You cut the braids to make sure that you're saving time, that you're not like unbraiding the whole thing. It's just unnecessary. You need some sort of comb situation to help take out the braids. If you haven't got like long nails, I've got like nails that look at it, it's growing out, it's so embarrassing. But don't watch that in it. I'll be redeemed soon. Need a comb to like be able to take out the braid. Also need a spray bottle. I filled it with water, and I'm gonna put some conditioner in. This is the Hello Hydration. Put it in front of my face. The Hello Hydration conditioner. It smells bomb. I just put it in. Sometimes the water's tepid because I don't want to spray like cold water on my hair or near my scalp. Then you just shake it and then you just start spraying. What have I been doing? I feel like a bit of sharing is in order. So before this summer started, I had just finished first year in uni, studying fine art. SD card was full, so I've just swapped it out. But what's the last thing I said? I said I started uni. First year I was studying fine art. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And so this summer it broke up, and the week that I kind of broke up for summer, like, so I broke up the Friday, the Monday I went into hospital. And I went into hospital because I was experiencing sharp abdominal. Okay, that did not work. Maybe I should just get another hairband. One sec. Because I was experiencing abdominal pain, so, and like extreme nausea, like I felt like I was gonna be sick, and like nothing was coming up because I hadn't even eaten anything, so there was nothing for me to like throw up basically. So I went into hospital and it felt like food poisoning and period at the same time. That's how I'd like explain it if you wanted to know. But that's basically what it felt like. So yeah, I went into hospital, A&E. I was in A&E for 4 days, and then they put me on the necessary ward for 1 day, then I was discharged. First they thought it was something to do with my bladder, so they scanned my bladder. Nothing to do with my bladder. And then I must have, because I was in pain, so they put me on IV drip paracetamol. Like, why do I keep having these brain farts? Like, I just keep forgetting stuff. What was I saying? Then they prepped me for an x-ray, but because of the way my stomach was protruding, basically I had a few months ago, like a month before I'd gone into hospital because of pain, I noticed that there was bloating around my stomach. So I'm thinking, okay, Like before, like usually I'll be eating too much gluten and then I'll be bloated for like weeks, and then I have to eat like fruit and veg, more fiber, then it'll be cool, everything will go down calm. So I just thought it was more of that, so I didn't think anything of it, which is why I sort of continued with my life, like going on, because it's like a really busy time in my life for me. So with things going on like at church and whatnot, and then like uni is like near the end, so I had a lot of work due, not like exams but like coursework deadlines to meet and essays to write and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'll sort it out later. So fast forward to now me being in a hospital, they're like, raw, like, are you sure that you're not pregnant? I said, and I was kind of like, without being rude, like, it's kind of impossible, like, I still have my V card in it. So the nurse, she didn't believe me. She was like, it's okay, like, you don't have to kind of lie, sort of thing. And I was like, I'm not, but okay, whatever. So they did like a pregnancy test, because you can't have an X-ray when you're pregnant, in it, because the radiation will harm the baby, in it. So I said, like, go for it. And then so I sat sitting down waiting for the test to come back negative for them to okay the X-ray. Had the X-ray, they still didn't even know what was wrong. So back to the ward, and I was just chilling in the bed. At that time my sister had come, so I wasn't by myself. And I had an MRI. No, I was on the list for MRI. Then I had a ultrasound, and they were trying to find basic organs like my kidneys and stuff, but they couldn't find them. So because they couldn't like find my kidneys on the ultrasound, they were like, okay, we have to do an MRI because like we don't know what's wrong. So that sucked. I was still in a lot of pain, so I was just waiting around for the MRI. Because my condition wasn't like fatal, I was on the list, but obviously people coming and checking in every day would have higher priority than me. This braid seems like it's not even undoing, or is it just me? Like, I've just been at this point for very long. I'm on the list now for MRI, and basically I had the MRI on the Wednesday morning. Is it Wednesday or Thursday morning? I went in on the 4th, so, and I was discharged on the 9th of May. So on the 8th I must have the MRI in the early afternoon. And came back and they were basically like, we think that there are cysts on your ovaries. So I'm there now like, okay, that's not even English, like what's that? And basically cysts are like abnormal growths that happen to women, usually of childbearing age, and there's nothing you do to like cause them, they just happen. Sometimes the type of cyst, it depends. Some of them are like formed from leftover like embryonic cells, so like cells from when you've been like a child, they've been left behind and they just multiply and grow like in the wrong place. So that's why I personally think that's what happened to me. That's why it'll be like TMI, but that's why sometimes when they like when you see pictures on the internet, when they've opened this, they find like hair and teeth, because it's cells from like babies. So that was a lot for me to take in. And they were basically saying, because they think it's grown inside my ovaries, they're saying that I would have to have surgery to remove them, and that it'll be a major surgery, so I'd have to go under. They'd have to do some like big old C-section bikini line slice to remove them. And they're saying because of my age, they would try and save my ovaries, like to do their best to save them. But I'm thinking, if I'm under, and you guys, like, they said they wouldn't know for definite until they'd like opened me up basically and started fingering around. So I'm like, okay, cool, so I could be under and you guys could just decide to take out my ovaries without my consent, and then when I come around and wake up, you man are telling me that, oh, you basically have to remove the ovaries and you can't have children. That's not, like, no, sorry. So it does not usually take this long. Like, these braids are small, but I know what I was thinking when I put them in. I was thinking that I wouldn't have to do my hair for time and that they'll stay neat, but I really didn't deep what I would do when it's time to take them out. So because I didn't have time to keep washing my hair, like bending over the bath, because with the with the cysts and the way my stomach is, bending over was just making me sick, and it was crushing my stomach, like my other organs and stuff. Like maybe I should just do a belly shot. Yeah, I have a bando on because it's hot, but basically this is what my stomach is looking like. You can see my ribs are there, and my stomach was literally flat. I can do like a stand back and then like another shot. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. So with all that, it looks like I'm about five months pregnant. So yeah, it was really a lot. It's gotten bigger since I've come out of the hospital. Why is it flashing? It's gotten bigger since I've come out of the hospital. Like, it wasn't this big before. So when I was discharged on the 9th of May, I had a hospital appointment. A month later, on the 5th of June, I think, and I had a consultation with the surgeon, and I had some uncle, yeah, so he was like, so they put you under, and they'll have to do a bikini slits. And I was like, okay, is there no, like, you can't do keyhole surgery? And he's like, no, because of the size, the cysts, keyhole surgery is not an option. So I was like, okay, like, if that's what you're saying, then okay. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, God, it's me in my head and out loud sometimes, but mainly I'm thinking, I'm like, God, am I being punished? Like, wagwan for all this? I really wasn't, like, no one expects to be unwell, but you know when, like, you just didn't see it coming. And my faith was really tested, because I was like, I felt a lot like Job. And I know everyone's like, every time someone gets like unwell or sick, they're like, yeah, because Job, he went through it all. So it was a long time, but it wasn't like some of these lifelong like sicknesses that some people face. But anyway, so yeah, I just felt like I was left there hanging dry, and I was just like, sleeping became uncomfortable. And because when you're pregnant, yeah, your body knows, so your body knows to make room for the baby to grow. So your ribs expand, your pelvis expands, and your organs shift upwards behind your rib cage so they're protected, and the baby has room to grow. So your body knows and prepares for the baby. Because there's no baby and my hormone levels are somewhat normal, obviously they're kind of abnormal because it's like woman health still involved, but because my body's not, like, there's no baby, so it doesn't know to move like rib to make space. Like, why would it make space for a foreign object? Do you get it? So like, I can't eat as much because it's the cysts are taking up more room in my abdomen, whereas if I ate, then my stomach would have room to expand. There's not much room for that. And it's the same with my bladder. It's like squishing on my bladder, and I find myself having, like, even if I'm thirsty, I drink, but knowing that I'm just gonna have to pee in like an hour, like frequently, like as if I was pregnant, even though I'm not. So yeah, plus all of that, and I would just lie in my bed and I would just think like, what God, what is this? This isn't normal. Like, I withdrew myself a lot because of how things looked, and it looked like I was pregnant, and at the time I didn't like talking about it, and I was just like explaining to people that don't even know me or that I don't really like seeing is a bit long. But you see a lady, you see your stomach, and you're thinking, yeah, she's pregnant. Never mind the fact that I didn't even have time for that to happen, or that's just not, that it's just not something that I was doing or like even thinking about, or even in a relationship or going out to even meet anybody to do that with. So it was just kind of a bit long. Sorry, I got a message on my phone. It started to get long, so I stopped going church, like I stopped going out, because it grew so fast that I hadn't got used to the extra weight. So walking would tire me out. This braid, oh my gosh, walking would tire me out. Walking would tire me out. I'll get stitches, and I got one stitch one time, and it was so painful. So I'd have to take my time. It just took me like twice as long to do stuff. I was in the midst of starting a t-shirt business, and I had to stop all that because I made the stuff myself, like by hand, so I couldn't do any of that. And like everything is just put to a halt, and I was like, I felt like saying that, God, this isn't fair. Like, there's dreams and stuff that I was supposed to be doing that I know that you've placed on my heart to do and that you told me, but you didn't tell me about this. But that's how I felt anyway, because I'd say like maybe 4 to 5 weeks before, like I went into hospital, like maybe more than that, like 2 months, I started getting visions of my stomach being protruded. But obviously you see that and you're thinking pregnancy. I'm like, I ain't gonna be pregnant anytime soon. Like, cast down any vain imagination. I was like, goodbye. But now in hindsight, I'm thinking, okay, so you were trying to like tell me, and instead of asking why I was seeing that, I just like brushed it off. And I was just like, I don't have a clue what's going on. A few people came to see me in hospital. That was a lot for me, because I'm a private person, so even having people normally see me like on a regular without anything being wrong is abnormal. Why is the battery dying? Yeah, it was just it was a hard experience, and to like let people see me in that like state of vulnerability, and it's been like a whole entire process, still believing that I know that it's possible that for God to heal me in a split second like that, everything could just be better. But I know it's part of a process, and it's strengthening character. Like, God doesn't do things to like mash us up, but he will use everything to turn things around for our good. And that's the stance that I've just chosen to take. The doctor said that it'll be 2 to 3 weeks before I hear back from them. That was in June. It's been on the 5th of September, it would have been 3 months since I was there getting the consultation, them telling me that it's going to be the nurse telling me that it's going to be a few weeks. They took my weight and everything, so when they gave me anesthesia, I wouldn't basically not wake up, because they have to administer the right amount, so for your body height and weight. I think that's when I deeped it, that it was serious, when I was standing on the scale and I was there being weighed, so that I wasn't given too little or too much drugs. So if I was too little, I'd feel it, and if it was too much, I might not wake up. And that was when I pretty much deeped it. And I was just like, God, you have to strengthen me through this, because I have no idea like what's going on. Like, people have been praying, I've been praying, and I was worried at first, but now I'm just like, all right, God, I know that you've got me. And through confirming words of like other people and confirmation, like from praying and stuff, God hasn't forgotten me. He sees me, because I've been seeing other people get their like breakthrough, getting lashed at church, people having testimonies saying how good God is. And I'm just like, I know God is a good God, but it's like, when can I say that for myself? Like, in terms of this situation, like, he's come through for me before, but never like this. Like, I've never been like, well, I wouldn't say ill, but I had infirmity, if that makes any sense. So this experience is unique, and it comes with its own stuff, like dealing with people at church like looking at me weird, thinking that I've backslidden. And it opened my eyes to like why people don't even want to come church anyway, because like they just feel judged. And it's like, obviously I know in my mind like, why I'm pregnant, so you look and think what you think, but it's correcting behaviors that need to be confronted. Because if that was my situation, why do you think that giving me dirty looks and looking me up and down or not even saying anything is gonna make me feel better? Like, that's not even like productive or helpful anyway. So that was that. Even having to explain to people, it's just really long. Well, it feels long, but I feel like God is just gonna use it for his glory. So like, the more people I share in the middle of it, the more God can be glorified in it. So that's just something that's been on my heart. Like, even one of my church aunties / friends, she was telling me like, you have nothing to be ashamed about, and don't hide yourself away. Like, how can people see what God has done for you if you sort of hide the worst of it or hide the process? And I was like, that's right, it's true, because we only know that the Egyptians were freed because we read about them in captivity, and we only knew about like David being like redeemed and stuff through his worship time and whatnot, because his transgressions were written about, and his adultery was written about. Like, we wouldn't know how good God is if no one had recorded it. So that's one of the main reasons why I thought I'd just come in here and like just talk about season I'm in right now. That's just one of the things. I'll probably end up putting it in another video about uni and maybe having to do it part-time and still trying to start my business. Like, even for a long time I didn't even film a video because I was like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't look like I should be filming. I haven't worn makeup, Jesus, I haven't worn makeup in so long. But yeah, I just wanted to come in here with the real deal. Like, this is what it is. It's not every day like sunshine Instagram posts and whatnot. I haven't even posted on Instagram for time as well, because I was like, well, that's another thing. I am passionate about like clothing, fashion, identity and stuff, and I couldn't even wear I can't wear a lot of my clothes because they don't fit me anymore. And that was a knock on my confidence as well, because I was like, I can't even dress how I would like to dress and post about it because of my stomach, and the clothes just not fitting and me being uncomfortable and having to wear like baggy clothes for comfort. and also to just hide the fact that it was just so protruded, like my stomach, and it was just yeah, it was really different. But yeah, this is gonna be a journey, and you guys can come along with me. If anyone, anyone's going through anything similar, share this video to them, that they're not alone. If you guys have any experiences with like women health in general, I guess, and it caused me to question my level of faith as well, because I'm like, I have faith that God can heal me, but do I not have faith because if I literally go to the operating theatre, because God's still he's gifted doctors to be able to like do surgery, and I'm not any less faithful for believing in their ability because they've studied for it. And that was hard to learn as well, because people that been saved get surgery all the time, and I likened it to like, do I not have faith? But I believe that God can heal me. He can heal me whenever he likes. He can choose to heal me, can choose not to heal me. But I believe that even when he was speaking to me, like just when I was just sitting in my room, like he's using it as a metaphor. And I deeped it. It's funny because one of my church bros, he posted something about Hosea having to marry a harlot, basically a prostitute, and use it as a metaphor for the Israelites. And I was like, God, is it one of those situations where I'm just a reminder that one, things aren't what they seem, and two, it's like, it's birthing time, and that's something else as well. I've been sneezing so much, like since the cyst has been growing, like sneezing has become a regular thing. Like I never used to sneeze, maybe like twice a week, twice every 2 weeks, if that. It'll just be like one big sneeze and done. Now I sneeze like that every day. But what was I saying? Yeah, like it's birthing time, and don't like abort the mission before you come to full term. It was confirmed on the word brought on Sunday by one of our youth. He was basically saying, he was like, listen, God's strengthening us, like he's strengthening the womb muscles. And I was just sitting there deep in it like, wow. So if this is a physical reminder for you that there's growth to be done, and whether people can see it for what it is or not, it doesn't matter. You know what it is, you know what God told you. And if people don't want to understand, it stopped recording, I don't know why. If people don't want to take the time to try and understand, not everyone's supposed to understand. The people that do will run with you, and the people that don't, there's other people that are there to reach them. So yeah, that's like mostly it. I'm still trying to work on stuff. I'm still trying to be consistent on here with sharing. Yeah, I just want you guys to know that God has not forgotten you, and he sees every detail of your life. And no matter what you're going through, he hasn't left you, he hasn't forsaken you, and he will always provide you with a way out of your situation. Whether he uses the situation to strengthen your character, or teach you how to speak into your situation, speak into that atmosphere and prophesy over yourself, prophesy to the situation and demand it to change, the same way like Ezekiel spoke, can these dry bones live? And he spoke life into them. And we really just have to learn about the power that's in our tongue, and speak things that we would like to see happen. And that's something I've also been learning in this season, that I really need to be speaking and calling things as not as though that they were, and just not falling into the trap of not saying anything thinking that you've been forsaken, because that's what the devil wants. He wants you to act like, and woe is me. And that was for me for a while. Don't get me wrong, I was stuck with depressive attitudes because I was just like, this is long, this is not fair, like my camera died. But basically what I was saying is trapping us into not saying anything, not speaking things to change, not for anything to not be different. And that is the worst thing that we could possibly do, and speak negatively to make the situation worse. But sometimes our negative environment forces us and pushes us into purpose and destiny. So all I would say is encourage you to keep going, keep pushing. Excuse me, don't give up on the dreams, the visions. Be sure to write it down, make them plain, speak over them, pray over them, speak life into them, and just keep it going. And just know that there is someone out there who's rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, and I want to see you guys do great things. But don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up with the journey and see what God is doing. Also, projects coming up, things I'll be doing in the meantime, like what my status will be with uni, work, health, just everything. If you're interested, subscribe, like the video if you like this style of video. Any comments or suggestions for what you want to see, leave them down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, people.